James Ernest here with the Grueling Truth Radio Network. Tonight's guest is Andre Riddick from the University of Kentucky. Andre, what have you been up to nowadays?
Trying to get into coaching on the basketball, coaching on the high school level. That's what I've been
Nice.
doing. Coach second division college last year. Trying high school level this time around.
So how's that treating you? Are the kids pretty receptive, I guess?
Yeah, we had a group of guys. We went, got put out in the first round of the district, but we did have a good team. We it's the first year for all three of the coaches, so just trying to implement a different way of doing things and look forward to
Nice.
the features from our group.
So, what high school are you coaching at?
Conroe High School out in Birmingham, Kentucky.
Oh, nice. Yeah, shoot. That's just right down the road from here, so that's perfect. Let's see.
Right.
So, why the University of Kentucky, coming all the way from Brooklyn, New York?
I was a big, I used to watch the Knicks a lot when Coach Pitino was coaching with the Knicks, and then he moved on to coach at the University of Kentucky, and I started getting letters from them when I was a junior in high school. And when I started going on my visits and going to different schools, I came out to Kentucky, and at that time, Jamal Maxwell was there, who I played AAU ball with the year before. So, just for that experience and knowing Jamal, I decided to join him and follow Coach P out to Kentucky, just because I watched that Knicks style play that they had, and they had an up-tempo, pressing, running style, and I felt like, the fun style to play in, so that's why I signed on.
Excellent. What were the main the differences between New York and Kentucky? Feeling-wise, when you moved, were there any concerns or regrets? Missing home, the food, that kind of thing.
No, I had a culture shock when I first got there. I was used to being in the city, and New York is up all night, but Kentucky, everything was slow, everything was, closing at 11 or 1, it's also not I live in a really busy place, so, it's kind of like the good thing about what Kentucky was, this was, less violence and, random shootings and stuff like that, that was kind of like the same thing that, I had to get used to not living that way.
So, how did you become the rejecter?
I was a good shot blocker, in high school, and I played with the New York Gauchos, and we would travel around and play in different countries.
Mm-hmm.
I would, I have different nicknames coming up, but I didn't get that nickname until I actually got to Kentucky. One of the analysts gave me that name, and it kind of stuck, it was, what I was best at, and I think a lot of people kind of got into it, and that's why the name kind of stuck around.
Excellent. Yeah, I was going to say that makes sense. I mean, shoot, for the longest time you had the different records for shot blocking, season, career, all those type of things at the University of Kentucky. So that definitely makes sense. Tell us about the dunk shuffle. Apparently after you dunk, you do some type of shuffle?
Yeah. I think after my junior year, I think I started doing that. But I think some of my earlier years, I would dunk and, kind of get pumped up. And when I came down, I might have did something, but not like the shuffle thing was more in my last year. Watching Deion Sanders playing with I think he was the Cowboys at that time. He would do his little shuffle when he got the interception and ran it back for the touchdown. So I kind of, that's what I would be doing after, I was done
Nice.
certain games, myself and Antoine Walker.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was going to say, that must have been a fun team to play with. All the talent there.
Yeah, we had a lot of veteran players, seniors, and we also had, talented freshmen and sophomores. That same group was the group that wound up winning it in '96. I wasn't there, but that same and not even how they wound up winning that championship. Because we had just that core talent, that we had. It was quite the group, as far as what they did in college and what they went on to do at the NBA as well.
Definitely. So tell us about that Final Four in '93. Any of the games really stick out for you? Any moments in particular?
Yeah, just playing against Michigan and them being baptized, having on the hype, and with them trying to get back to the finals because they were there the year before. It's tough. Different. They have a lot of guys like talk junk and talk about you, and all through the game, they kind of like talking down to us and telling us what they were going to do, and wound up being that we played a tough game, wound up losing in overtime, but we stood up to the challenge. I think once Jamal Maxwell fouled out, that's kind of the moment that sticks out in my mind. We were competing, and when he fouled out, we had our firepower kind of diminished, and we had we didn't have the veteran team once he left, and we wound up losing. But like I said, that same group was the same group 2 years later that we won the championship. Those sophomores from that year.
Just throwing this out there. When I'm not doing the Grueling Truth Radio Network, I also work with an MMA group, and I heard there was a bit of a beef between you and Rasheed Wallace back in the day. So, you ready for us to set up that fight?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it was kind of just, during those few minutes of the game, I felt like they were trying to do some little things just to kind of, I felt like it was like cheap shots here and there, and it wasn't just one that I was involved in. I was involved in one, but it was some other ones I saw that, some of my teammates, went through that. So that thing that wound up happening when he elbowed me in the face, that was like, probably the fourth or fifth thing that happened. That's what it was. I felt like they were trying to intimidate us, and they felt like, they can push us around. And it would have been okay if it was like just a regular elbow, but I felt like, he extended the elbow back to where I was. I was short at the back. I wasn't like, sometimes it was really close up to somebody and he punched the ball, in the face. I wasn't in his space like that, so he had to kind of go an extra range just to hit me. So,
Exactly.
like that was.
Yeah, because sometimes, accidents happen, but it's, even watching the video, it looked like, he was attempting to make contact, not just accidentally making contact. So I know what you mean there.
Right, yeah.
Do you stay in touch with any of your former teammates?
Yeah, I stay in touch with the guys. But I do run into them like at charity events and different things like that. They normally have like a reunion every couple of years or something like that from the different classes, and also the charities that some of the guys are involved in. Every year they have a golf event, and it's been I've caught up with guys, going back to that, several times. So it's always something that they're doing, and we can all get together and kind of catch up.
So any funny stories? Any things we wouldn't have heard before about any of your former teammates?
No, I think they were just funny guys. They're just really guys in Wildcat, and we just go out there. I think the biggest thing is just kind of joke around with each other and making fun of each other and doing things like that. I think that's some of the better times we had. And I know one year, I think it was my senior year. I think it would be they had this thing where you had to they would choose different guys to throw into the dirty clothes. Like there's a big pamphlet that all of our dirty practice did with it. And it was the thing where like they were taking turns at throwing people in there. And first it was like throwing the freshmen in.
Yeah.
But then some guys thought they were too bad to get thrown in there. So I think we all found our way in there over the course of the year. But it was just 100 bands that we did my, like I said, my senior year. So it was, guys having a good time, and and a group that were supportive of one another, and happy for one another, doing well. It was just fun atmosphere to be in.
Sounds like a fun, loose atmosphere going on there. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Tell us about Coach Pitino and how he's influenced your coaching style.
Well, if you watch Coach P's Hall of Fame speech, when he had so many players from the past that he had, coached throughout the years, different schools, a lot of people showed up, and came to support because of, the level of his coaching ability and what he meant to us as far as being a role model and teaching us how to be men, challenging us and bringing out the best in us, helping us to be disciplined in what we're doing. And, for me, it's more just recognizing, just the details and the little things, just praying through adversity, just recognizing that, those are moments that we were, building character in ourselves, and that's what I try to teach, and coach, for us to be strong-minded and not to fall apart, and moments of adversity, that's what Coach P taught us the most as far as, what we were doing, especially in our practice. In the way we practice, we were practicing when we were exhausted and, go out there and play that way, just kind of up-tempo style, so we got in the game, when you were tired, it wasn't okay to be tired and make a tired mistake, you would be focused on still accomplishing that thing that you were set out to do and have an expectation of yourself and also your teammates, that we're going to go out and do it together and nobody's going to let the next person down.
Definitely. I mean, it sounds like, that's a great way to do it. I mean, building, reliance on each other, yeah.
Right.
So, who were, of your opponents, who do you feel was probably some of the best players you played against?
During that time, Allen Houston, he's obviously great talent. Went on to play the Knicks. Corliss Williamson, I played against him and the great years that he had in Arkansas. There's a lot of the SEC guys that we played against. He had a lot of great talent, played against Shaq, Robert Ory, James Robinson. Yeah, some really did a lot of big things in college basketball, and they also went on to do some bigger things, on the NBA level as well. But they're playing against more like Bird and Grant Hill and played Duke. So we made runs into this tournament. We got to play some of the bigger talent and one of the bigger guys that we played against. We missed Ken Duncan. I think we played against him before he got there. But like I said, Bird, Howard, and Taylor Rose, those guys. There's some of the guys that we played against. People would only think about playing against.
So, what's your thoughts on the team this year?
I feel like when we go out and play defense, I think we're going to be really dangerous. I think we had our struggles throughout the years to try and be consistent and trying to be where we're not only depending on Monk, scoring 30 and 40 points, but, trying to have other guys step up and take some of those offensively. I think right now we're playing pretty well. We're not playing perfect basketball, but I think playing really well. And guys, we stepped up our rebounding, stepped up our defense. And I think we can make a run in the next tournament. I don't think a lot of people are picking us to do so, but we do have the kind of talent. We don't have a lot of experience. So it's not like experience though, but we do have guys who have a certain talent level. With Coach Cal being one who is used to coaching, freshman talent. And I think we definitely go on a string of games together where we're going out there and playing quality is as far as not taking our opponent lightly and going out performing and executing on both sides of the ball.
Obviously, you're worried about that first round game. Clearly, I mean, Northern Kentucky University is coming in a big favorite into that game. Nah, just kidding. That's my alma mater. I'm just joshing. No, we're just glad to be there. I'm glad to see them there in their first year, and yeah, it was just kind of an odd matchup. Shoot, a game that we couldn't get. Probably in 10 years trying to get them scheduled, and then they end up lucking into playing them or unlucky into playing them because of course they're going to lose to them, but yet at least that nice experience. And, of course, being up in Indianapolis is just great because then the fans can travel to it from both teams.
Right. That's true. Yeah, I think, it'll be an interesting game. I think, with NKU, and what they've been able to do this year, I'm grateful to the area. A lot of people who have NKU ties, that I know here. And there's just a lot of people excited about it. I think in the last few years they've been, going on the road and playing bigger teams, They played North Carolina on the road, I think, last year. Mm-hmm. They played us on the road, so they're used to playing teams of our magnitude, so it's not a thing where they'll be intimidated. I think it's just a matter of, whose style of play wins out and who's ready to play and who can put together the best 40-minute game.
Exactly. I was going to say, I think that's going to be the big difference in the game, is I think in the first half, Northern will be able to keep the game competitive. But just with the depth and the athleticism UK has, I can't imagine them being able to stick around in the second half. But Northern's had some really great first halves. I mean, heck, they even did okay against West Virginia early this year. But it's just that second half that they don't have the depth that they need yet. But they're getting there. Actually, unfortunately, college basketball has kind of gone away from the big man's game. But the nice thing is Northern's bringing in 7 or 7-2. Player next year, so from Southern Kentucky, so that'd be nice.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, he's a 3-star recruit, so yeah, it's always nice to see them getting those type of players. After all, they got Mr. Kentucky this last year, so that was nice. Him and then a couple of the runners up. So yeah, he was. They're getting there. So
yeah, definitely. Hopefully, they can keep that coach around and.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I was going to say that's one of my big concerns, too, is that with it, is anytime you start getting that success, people want to come in and take your coach. Obviously, UK never has to worry about that. They're a destination job. But, yeah, with Northern, that definitely does concern us because we ended up getting him from an SEC school, Bama. So that was nice. And he even brought in a recruit from there, so that was good stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, and he's Puffy's a local guy, and that's the thing he has going for him as well. But I'm sure other people would be interested in the services, and we'll see what decision he makes.
Definitely. What's your thoughts on Bettino and his draw this year with Louisville?
I think they have good. They do a good job of revamping once they after his graduating and leave or whatever for the NBA. But I think that again he's put together a tough team. They have a good chance to make a run as well, and we'll see. Within a lot of times style of play, whose style of play wins out. I know he'll have his players ready to play, and he got a lot of big guys. So that's something that they do have to their advantage. So it's one of those things that depth, becomes an issue, and how poised the players are, to go out and perform, that'll be an issue as well. So I think one of the things that he, drills in the players' minds, how to perform and how to execute. So I think, that would be one thing that he has one for him, and we're going to have one for them, as the tournament gets started.
Definitely, yeah. I'm looking forward to that second round matchup. Hopefully it'll end up being Michigan. Because as hot as they've been playing, that could be interesting.
Right, yeah. Even got started playing at one at the right time, and it should be very interesting to see what takes place.
So tell us about the European game. What's the differences? What's the similarities between it and over here?
As far as the European games go, they concentrate more on the fundamentals. They don't, like here, players getting some more, trying to dunk and trying to, do a fancy drill or make somebody fall down, and the European games are like that. They're about, playing solid, fundamental basketball. They do have a lot of talented guys, and you see the way they've been coming up here and playing, getting the NBA and they're from themselves in the different countries over there. They're not exactly where we are as far as athletically, but they do have guys who stand out, and they do have a lot more players who don't come over here to play, that are good as well, but, choose to stay home and play. But, I think they don't get into all the flashy, basketball. They're solid execution, being smart, playing team basketball and going out and working hard. They got some really, talented guys who, put in the work and improve and get better and can't, always rely on that athleticism. That's, one of the differences. They a lot of times have that to rely on, so they work harder and they execute, the game plan, more so than what some of our players do sometimes.
Definitely. However, though, I was watching some highlights of yours from over there, and talk about flashy play. The alley oops and some of those dunks were they were Showtime-esque. I mean, they were impressive. They were Sports Center highlight. I feel. I was going to say, I don't say that tongue in cheek. I say this sincerely. It was because I was expecting when it was when I pulled up videos on YouTube and it was highlights of you. I'm like, okay, it's going to be a block party, and then there'll probably be a bunch of steals because you got all the defensive records over there, at least the main ones from Europe. So that's what I was expecting to see. But I'm like, wow, he was a heck of a dunker because shoot. And around here in the Kentucky area, I mean, anytime someone says defense, obviously you, Anthony Davis, New Orleans, Noel, those names pop up right away. So, yeah, that was my thought going into it was defense, but I was like, wow. And, of course, you mentioned some of the players that you played with during your time at UK, so, of course, you weren't relied on to score as much because you had the other scorers on your team. And that's one of the things, people will tend to forget about different players that – they're just filling their role where, if they were on a different team, they might have been required to score more. And I was really, impressed with the highlights there. So, that must have been fun to play, yeah.
Yeah, we got, and that's what they, a lot of times coaches, they try to, build, when you do get over there and, they try to throw you in the mix and try to get the most they can from you. And, when I first came to Europe and when I first started playing in Asia, started my career up, it wasn't like, there was only like one or two Americans. So, we had to do a lot, for the team, to try to make up for the talent that we didn't have overall. And that's what the days that was, different from college, when you play professional ball over there, like you can really stay just in that same mode, if you can only do one thing, the coaches will challenge you to add to your game so you can, help the team win, because that was the ultimate goal. And then later on, they started bringing more Americans to where teams will have like 4 or 5 Americans, so it would be like a college setting because you just let guys do what they're comfortable doing and what they were good at. But, initially when I first started playing over there, it wasn't like that. You had to, add something to your game. You couldn't just be a defensive player. You had to score a little bit. So kind of like playing that way in the beginning, helped me to be later on where, I was able to do both. And it was just a matter of what I was called to do on the team I was on.
So was it like finding home basically once you found and I'm not even going to try to mispronounce the name, but the one that you were on for the 10, 11 years versus the first, 5, 7 years of your career over there where you were going from different teams in different cities? Was that a nice change?
Yeah, it was. One thing when you're playing, you're bouncing around, whatever league you're in, they have that one team, they have 1 or 2 teams that are really strong, and, every year they're competing for the championship. So that's what, once I started traveling around, I got to France, and I saw, they had Billabong, which was Asdale, and one of the top teams. So I got to play with Paris, one year, and that was one of the bigger teams. They had won the championship a couple years before that with J.R. But then I left and went to Belgium and played for Charleroi. Charleroi is supposed to be one of the top two teams, overall in Belgium. They're always contended for the championship. And right when I got there, they went to the championship, I think, twice. The 2 previous years and lost, so they were trying to get back to their championship ways. And by the time I got there, we won. I thought that first season going 35-1.
Nice.
And winning the championship, and then we won we won 2 straight, and then they won 2 or 3 years, and then we won 4 in a row. So it was one of those things when I felt like I was able to get somewhere where they were building a successful team, for the long run, and we had some success, and then we got some players who left, and different things happened, but then we changed coaching staff, and then we got back to winning the game, and we built a really good team. So that was, kind of what I wanted to do. That's what I felt like, that's why I made a name for myself, in Belgium, as far as playing on those teams. It was memorable, and definitely something that I'm very proud of.
So, who were some of the more interesting teammates that you had over there?
I got it. We start bringing guys from here. Like I said, they opened up where they were having 4 or 5 Americans play. But one of my most interesting players, I started. One year we had Matt Walsh, who played in Florida. And I know, seeing Matt on TV playing against Cats, and because I didn't play at the same time he did, but seeing that, what a hard time they gave him, and him being an enemy playing for Florida. Once he came to Belgium, one of the things I got the chance to know him personally, and Matt was, one thing, really funny guy, but great teammate, great player, and he elevates the game of the entire team, and he was one guy who him, it was Justin Hamilton, who was also on the Florida team, and Brett Wright, who was also on the Florida team. So I got to play with guys who, played for basically my rival school, who I saw, on television, but didn't know personally, and wound up coming and playing with them and winning championships together. And that was some of the guys that I remember the most from being over there.
What country had the best food?
I would say, Taiwan has some really good food there. We would eat some of the real authentic, Taiwanese restaurants, and initially when we first got there, we were kind of skeptical, we didn't eat, we wanted to see simple things that we knew about, why, like, they would have these dishes where it would be a round table and you just spin the table and everything, they'll have 10, 11 different dishes, on the table, but we would only eat 5 rice because we were scared,
Mm-hmm.
But, as we continued to go eat together and we started venturing out and trying some of the food because we would be hungry. And after we left, we weren't eating like the other guys were eating. So finally, about halfway through the year, we were eating everything they're eating, so we didn't experience the culture more. They really had their own way of doing things, and food was really good. So we enjoyed it, and we got to try. Now when I come here, I miss some of their authentic food because it's not the same.
So, what's your final thoughts about your time at UK?
I think there was a time when they were trying to be in a probation, and there was a lot of question marks about what would be done, and could they get back on top, doing things the right way. And I got to come in and as a freshman and play with 4 seniors who were there that, worked hard, John Pelfrey, Ricky Farmer, Sean Woods, and Darren Feldhouse, not to mention Jamal Matchman as well, who he was in his second year when I came. So they had set the groundwork, for the level of how we'd be playing. So when I got there, I didn't know those guys personally, beforehand, but the level that they worked, knowing that they sacrificed the year before and not being able to play the postseason, and how hungry they were to win, that set the tone for the next 4 years for me, as far as how I would go out there and how I would approach, being on the Kentucky basketball team and having respect for the name on the jersey. And I always, felt like when I went out there, it was, something special. And I tried to, respect every second I had out there, and I never thought about doing anything else, And I had a good time with my time I had. People always, they ask me, do you miss it, and do you, wish you can go back and play now, but I enjoyed my time, and I don't miss the past. We played on great teams, we went to the Final Four, went to 2 of the gates, wound up winning 4 SEC tournament championships, and had a couple records that lasted, 18 and 19 years. So, as far as my viewpoint of my time there, I enjoyed it. I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of my teammates, the effort that we gave, some of the more historic games that we were a part of, games that people remember. And also just the fans, always being a part of the family, a lot of people now that, 21 years later, I still, they still talk to me about, how I played, and, it's not that we're all fans now. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things, just being able to share the Big Blue Nation fan base, and still today is they don't talk to you like a game just happened yesterday that I was in, so they just really proud of the players, and they really stick up for us and support us.
Nice.